Real E-Leezy. You up in this thing bright and early. You know what I'm saying? Salute to my children. They start school today. Officially a 7th and a 10th grader. So your boy getting old, man. Your boy getting old, but I'm thankful, I'm appreciative. For the grace of God, I just want to send a prayer over their day. You know, may their day filled with joy, prosperity, good health, ambition. You know, may they be protected and safe from any harm, any devilish things that's out there. Just, you know, God, I just ask you to, cast your hand, have mercy on their lives, just give them grace, and, see them through the day. In your almighty power, Jesus' name, amen. All right, let's get to it. You know, good morning, all my people. Make sure you hit them likes, hit them thumbs up. I just want to talk about Mark Jackson. And the reason why I wanted to talk about Mark Jackson, I just seen a clip from Draymond Green on Mark Jackson. He was sitting down with Jamal Crawford and saying that how Mark Jackson kind of created the monster Steph Curry, along with Klay Thompson as well, but he created the monster in Steph Curry. He proclaimed them two to be the best shooting backcourt in the history of the game, and this is before they even became what they became right now. Mark Jackson already had Mark Jackson is a real spiritual guy. We all know that, right? You know what I'm saying? He's real big on his faith. I don't think you can pull one over on Mark Jackson and get him to agree with certain agendas that's being passed or that's being showcased and implemented in this world, in this society. And there is no place for people like him who has that mindset of, I'm not going to fall for the gimmicks, the lies, the propaganda. So God gave him the gift of discernment so he could see certain things in people, and then he nurtured that. Mark Jackson nurtured that. And at the time when they was trying to push this whole LeBron James narrative, see, you wouldn't have been able to get the Warriors and Steph Curry to throw away games and like how Steve Kerr do, to coach uncharacteristically and bad and not develop talent and things like that. If you would have had Mark Jackson for James Wiseman's career, it would have been a whole different ballgame, whole different story. Because we know that Mark Jackson instills that type of confidence in his players because of his faith. See, when you start talking about Jesus and God this and God that, and you really believe that and you're walking the walk, even though he's not a saint by any stretch of the imagination, he's not perfect. I understand that he had issues and some scandals and some things going on. But, I mean, who are we to judge them? Judge each other, because we all got our challenges and, things that we've done, said that we wish that we can take back. But it is what it is. You have to go through those things because that's a part of your maturation process. It's going to look a little different than everybody else's. So understand that part. Mark Jackson wasn't the type of dude that, he wasn't no yes man. You wasn't going to be able to tell him something, we need to do this. Okay. No, Mark Jackson was going to bite back and go against all the things that they probably wanted him to do that wasn't conducive to his belief system. You see what I'm saying? And that's the thing. They said, oh man, he alienated all his assistant coaches. The one thing that people always say, oh, he was this, he was that. When you're not a puppet, you can't be easily persuaded and controlled to do things that's out of the scope of your morals and your values and your vision. You see what I'm saying? Because you get that vision from God. That's not man-made vision. You get that vision from God. And the NBA don't like when people, like, why do you think they don't really promote Steph and put him in the all-time rankings? Because he is a faith-based individual. But Steph Curry is so good for the game of basketball and makes the NBA trillions of dollars. I'm talking about he changed the whole entire scope of what NBA basketball and professional basketball looks like. He got everybody globally trying to do the things that he do, from the pre-game workouts to the in-game shooting to how he keeps his body in the most fierce tip-top shape. So the NBA is really, they're using that as a marketing tool to make trillions of dollars, but they really don't like what Steph Curry represents. You know what I'm saying? You can't talk about God this and God that. And then another player that we need to watch out for is Jaden Ivey. When he came up on that podium in a post-game press conference after the game and said he just wanted to say that his Lord and Savior Jesus Christ is coming back and we need to be ready. The NBA don't like when you're pushing that because they're ran by atheists and people who believe and worship the devil. You have to understand, these entities, these organizations, they're not faith-based. They don't have any faith. They believe in, oh, we gonna help people. As long as we making all this money, we have the ability to, do things for charity. Excuse me, do certain charity work. Oh, we're gonna do this and we're gonna do that to make it appear, oh, we're gonna hire this person to put this person in place to make it appear that they're for the people, they're for a certain type of people, but it's all agenda-based. It's all propaganda. Mark Jackson, this was supposed to happen to Mark Jackson because Mark Jackson is really showing all the rest of the people out there. He's the example. Mark Jackson is the example. You wouldn't have been able to push a LeBron narrative if Mark Jackson was still involved in coaching. You think that he would be calling, what's the name of him, the greatest player and all of this and that? No, he would be pushing Steph Curry. See what I'm saying? You think Draymond Green would have been doing all these antics and all this stupid shit and all that dumb shit under Mark Jackson's leadership? Fuck no. You think the Warriors would have been blowing 3-1 leads and all of this and that and doing dumb shit, uncharacteristic shit that we haven't seen? Fuck no, because Mark Jackson not built like that. Mark Jackson is a competitor on every level. And Mark Jackson, he's loving to see the Warriors crumble because guess what? Everybody now, they're talking about how bad of a coach Steve Curry is. You didn't hear this from players. You didn't hear this from other coaches around the league. You didn't hear this from the media personnel on how bad Steve Kerr was and, you know what I'm saying, and he don't know what he's doing and all of this and that. You didn't hear none of that. So people need to really have an understanding of what's really going on. Everything is exposing themselves right now. Everything in life is exposing themselves. Our democracy exposing themselves. The medical field is exposing themselves. Fair use. Look at all the chemicals that they put in our foods. All of them chemicals are banned in every other state outside, in every other country outside the United States. Because it's a game. It's all about money, propaganda, and control. That's it. And Mark Jackson wasn't having that. Yeah, you can say his beliefs on the LGBTQ, elemental P, QRS, TUV. You can say all of that. But that was the agenda. Mark Jackson wasn't going along with no agenda. Hey, Heron, salute. I knew you would be the first one in the building, my guy. Good morning, bro. Salute. Mark Jackson wasn't going along with that propaganda. Mark Jackson had a job to do because he took it serious. It was about the passion, the love for the game. The way the game has changed right now, you wouldn't have been able to get Mark Jackson to go out there and be on some retarded shit. Steph Curry can potentially be the greatest player we ever seen play basketball. But they wasn't ready for that conversation yet, and that's why they try to link him and put him in LeBron's shadow. But Steph Curry is really better than LeBron James. And Mark Jackson already knew. They wasn't going to allow a black man to have that much success and power, you know what I'm saying, at the helm in coaching. They had to put a white face there. It just has to be a white face. Mark Jackson deserves to be a champion as a coach. He deserves to hoist that trophy. Mark Jackson started what we know as the golden era. He started all of this. Andre Iguodala will tell you that. All of these players will tell you this. But they're all coming out saying it now because we're in the season of exposing everything. Everything is being exposed. Everyone is being exposed, from the media to the lies, to the propaganda, to all the agendas, you know, to the political realm and field. Everything is being exposed. And it's nothing that nobody can do because it's supposed to be like this. It's supposed to be like this. And Mark Jackson is loving it because he's watching Steve Kerr fall flat on his ass. Steve Kerr really wasn't in position to be a coach. He was just chosen. It's a reason why he chose the Warriors over the Knicks. They already had promised him glory and success that, oh, the Warriors are the next team. We got Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, everything that Mark Jackson built and instilled in these guys. We just need you to take it, and we just need you to be the face. Why do you think that Steve Kerr always had a black assistant coach on his staff? Think about this. Steve Kerr always had a black assistant coach on his staff. It's a reason for that. Y'all don't understand what's going on? Pay attention to what's really going on. The NBA owes Mark Jackson. Just like they blackballed Jeff Van Gundy for a little bit. When you talk reckless and talk bad, or not even reckless, but when you talk the truth against lies, then they have to shut you down. They have to shut you up. And the only way that they can do that to Mark Jackson is to take away from his ability to have freedom of speech. Like, he's able to say some of the things that he really wanted to say back then now because he has a podcast, and we know how this YouTube thing works and social media. But there was only so much things that he could say when he was employed by them people. See, when you're employed by them people, you gotta be a good old boy or a good old girl. You gotta say the things that they want you to say, and you gotta put it on extra thick. That's the propaganda. Mark Jackson wasn't having that. Mark Jackson like, man, I'm not into all this other. Don't you know that Mark Jackson, with the way that these athletes are dressing now, their sense and style, you don't think Mark Jackson came on and was like, man, this dude right here is a straight bucket. Fruit, that is. What? Come on, man. They paying these dudes to act super metrosexual. They're paying these dudes to promote a certain agenda to cater to a certain audience. Because the NBA is ran by the LGBTQ, elemental P, QRS, TUV, WX, Y, and Z. That's what they're ran by. Everything is soft now. Everything. You'll never be able to tell me that they would start having guys in the NBA who wearing toenail polish, fingernail polish. What are we doing? You wouldn't. Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and all them guys, rest in peace to the Mamba. You couldn't get these guys in a million years. See, they came up in the era that they were supposed to come up in. They wouldn't have been able to fit in this era. They just wouldn't. Because they would have been so outspoken with the way everything is open now. They would have been so outspoken against certain things that the NBA, it would have been hard for the NBA to market the players, these players. Even though they're greatness, you can market LeBron James because of everything that he does not stand for. You see what I'm saying? He is a controlled puppet. You can market LeBron. That's why all of the media always says, oh, that's all they say in the Olympics, triple-double, triple-double, triple-double. Steph Curry, up until them last two games, which were the most meaningful games of the Olympic tournament, Stephen Curry averaged 7.3 points a game. That's well below his standards. But guess what? It was the reason why he averaged those 7.3 points a game. It's not that he couldn't, but Steph Curry is also controlled to a certain degree. See, Steph Curry had to play bad in order for the narrative and everything to fit around LeBron James being the best player on the Olympic roster. Steph Curry had to play bad like that. When Steph Curry said, okay, I have to save LeBron's ass right here, let me do what I do, you seen that he hit that switch. Boop, just like that. He hit the switch. See, but YouTube don't want to keep it 100. Nobody really wants to be honest. People are scared to talk about these things because it's not conducive to what they're trying to do on these social media platforms. Let's just call a spade a spade. Let's keep it 100. Mark Jackson deserves to be on at least somebody's staff, or he be the head coach of the team. If you're giving all these head coaching opportunities to all these first-time head coaching people with no experience and all this and that, and you're hiring them for 5 years, but you fire them after the first year, there's a breakdown and a problem with finding solid coaches. See, it's hard for them to find a coach that's just going to sit there and allow them to be controlled like a puppet. That's why they keep hiring and firing all these different coaches. Every other year, it's a coach that gets hired and fired. Hired and fired. Because if you're not buying into the agendas, then there's no fit. There's no place for you. And they treat us like that in the work field too. If you're not along with these agendas, if you're not going to wear a pronoun, if you're not going to get a COVID vaccination, you can't work for this company. Oh, but we're an equal opportunity employer. Really? How, Sway? Oh, you don't see this minority person that we just hired? Oh, you don't see this individual we just hired? But then they're also on a short leash, though, especially if they're not going to look, talk, and act like their bosses. If they don't have anything in common with their bosses, they're going to be alienated. And now you're on a short leash to where you're damn near going to ask your own self, depending on the things that you partake in, the things that you do. If you miss a meeting here, if you miss a day here, you got children, woo, 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 woo. Any little reason they'll look to get rid of you. Because you don't really fit in the grand scheme of things, but you're not buying into agenda. You don't look like, you don't sound like, you don't act like, you don't represent what they want you to represent. And they want you to look like, and they want you to act like and sound like. See, everything is always about control at the end of the day. If you're a puppet, then you'll make it to the next level. If you're a puppet, and you don't have to put much work in, you just gotta do what they're advising you to do. That's it. Whether that's shitting on your own people, whether that's going against things that you might believe in, that's the way this thing works. And it's sad, but I always gotta come and put y'all on real game. Steve Kerr should have been fired, though, a long time ago, bro. He shouldn't even been given the job, to be honest with you. They tried to recreate Steve Kerr with Steve Nash. Same thing. Same thing. And you see what happened? KD and Kyrie say, we ain't having it. But they had to shut KD and Kyrie ass up, though, because Steve Nash exposed himself. They thought Steve Nash was going to be a great coach. Nuh-uh. That's why they try to hire him in Golden State as some sort of special advisor on the team. But I'm like, what is Steve Nash? Steve Nash can't teach Stephen Curry nothing that he don't already know. Steph Curry is a student of the game, bro. You don't need a Steve Nash around Golden State for what? That was all to try to build Steve Nash up so he could get a coaching job. He had some old special position with the Warriors. He didn't deserve no head coaching job. He had zero experience. Just like they're doing with J.J. Redick. J.J. Redick is an analyst. Then he goes into a podcast with LeBron, and then mysteriously and all of a sudden, he becomes the head coach of the Lakers. And then mysteriously, the Lakers draft Bronny James with the first pick. And everybody is saying, oh, this kid has earned his way. What has he earned? He's been given everything since birth. What has he earned? What has LeBron earned? Nothing. They've been handed. It's a token. These are token guys. They're just being handed things. That's all it is. They haven't worked for anything. They ain't got nothing really out the mud. You mean to tell me J.J. Redick is a better coach than Mark Jackson? Are you out of your mind? Even Darvin Ham. Y'all keep talking about Darvin's scam. Darvin Ham instilled confidence in those guys. You think Austin Reeves would have turned into the player that he is right now without Darvin Ham instilling that confidence in him? Look what Darvin Ham did for Mike Budenholzer over in Milwaukee. As the lead assistant. Look what he did for Giannis Antetokounmpo and his brother. And still had confidence in those guys. Now they don't even know what to do. They don't even know what to do now. Let's just keep it a buck, man. I want people to be real and be honest with what's really going on. Speak on it. Talk about it. This is your time to really break off of them shackles that we've been on, man. We're still in captivity. Like mentally, psychologically, spiritually, emotionally, it's time to break free. You don't have to say dumb shit for attention. You don't have to say and go against everything you believe just for a couple dollars here and there. A PayPal, a Cash App, etc., etc. You don't have to do that. You can be able to say what you want to say and feel real good about yourself at the end of the day. And be like, man, that feels really good. I'm so happy that I got that off my chest. It's been burning me inside. Because they try to use social media as another way to control the masses in the way you think, on how you look at things. No. Social media is a gift and a curse. But we're going to use it as that. We're going to use it as a tool to start exposing the lies. Because I got two eyes. You got two eyes. All you got to do is open them and then think. Use your comprehension skills. It's sad. It's sad. But guess what? The NBA, they listen. They be listening to the people on the internet. They do. They listen to us. Mark Jackson will get another job. Watch. I guarantee you Mark Jackson gets another gig. They have to. Because all the lies are being exposed. They can't hide any of this stuff anymore. You know what I'm saying? Mark Jackson will break through, and that's if Mark Jackson even won it. He's been cut out of so many situations. They won't let him be an analyst. Everything Mark Jackson gave to the game, and you mean to tell me this is how the game repays him? I don't believe it. You ain't gonna be able to get me to believe that Mark Jackson was bad for the game. No. You're not getting me to believe that. Mark Jackson was just the wrong one to push these agendas and create these false narratives. That's what he was. So we can keep that a buck. Mark Jackson know more basketball than Steve Kerr in any day, in any lifetime. And was a way better player. Steve Kerr just rode the coattails of, being on great teams, surrounded by great Hall of Fame players. Steve Kerr be on them sidelines looking confused as I don't know what. But this ain't even really about Steve Kerr. This has everything to do with Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson is the guy. So when you want to give somebody credit for the Warriors winning all them championships, you can thank Mark Jackson for that. Because it wouldn't have been no Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, or Draymond Green if it wasn't no Mark Jackson. And that's a fact. So, it is what it is. Salute to all my people, but for the record straight, that's the real reason why Mark Jackson was blackballed. So we gonna keep that above. So salute to all my people, man. Love, live life, smile, cry, laugh. And we'll be back later. Salute A Heron. Yeah, YouTube didn't really want this video to get any kind of juice because they know that it's the truth. See, they don't like when you expose when you expose the little dirty little secrets, when you expose all of that stuff, they can't handle it. You want the truth? You can't handle the truth. So, salute to you guys, man. I hope y'all have a blessed day, man. And that's just what it is. That's just what it is. Already know. The real too smart, man. Salute, bro. I'm about to tear up out of the building. I'm finally at work on time early. And I got a long day ahead of me. But I just wanted to come on and grace you guys with some truth. YouTube don't like the truth. They hate it. They still want us divided. But you can't do it anymore. It's impossible. People are starting to wake up everywhere. So that's just what it is, bro. I appreciate y'all, bro. I'm going to get with y'all later on, man. Y'all have a good one. Yes, sir.